Good morning, everybody. How's it going out there? Okay? Huh? Oh, I thought I brought something in with me this morning and I didn't. Oh well. You'll just have to deal with that. Um, Moving along. Uh, Trump is touting the ceasefire agreement, and the Israeli government hasn't even voted on it yet. They're doing that today sometime. And tanks opened fire on a coastal road in Israel this morning. So he's saying it's in effect, and I'm saying no, it's not. This is just Trump wanting to be honored by the world, and I don't think the world wants to honor him. We'll wait and see what happens. That's the hardest place in the world to make a deal when and every every U.S. president has failed. Trump's not going to be the one that does it, and because the only reason he wants to be in there is so that he can build on the land, and when he leaves the White House, he can go over there and hang out and be rich and famous, and have everybody come by and kiss the ring. Yeah, bullshit. All right. Trump wants confrontation in Chicago or Oregon, wherever he can get it, between the National Guard and ICE and the American citizens. The reason he does that is because he's looking for any excuse he can have to increase what he wants to do, which is to take over the world. He wants to be able to declare martial law, and once he does that, he has total control of the United States, and that should really fuck things up pretty good, Sorry about the language, but that's what's going to happen. He wants to be able to, with martial law, there'll be no elections in 2016. The Republicans can sit back and do whatever the hell they want to. You'll see Republican politicians are not going to mean anything anymore, which is cool because I think there's a lot of Republicans. And then the people are going to have to decide, and the people are going to decide in the streets, and that's not good for the people, and that's not good for the government, the country, or anybody else that's around, We just have to wait and see what's going to go down. Now, along those lines, it's reported that Americans don't want Trump's deployment, but he's going to do it anyway. So what he's already told the American people is he don't give a shit what you say. You're done. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. I've got immunity, so you can't pull a Nixon on me. I can't be prosecuted for crimes I commit. Okay? He can be prosecuted for treason, but there's not a Republican in that Congress that's going to vote for that. Even though you could probably make a pretty good case. I'm not a lawyer. You might have trouble, but things aren't decided by a totally legal point of view when it comes to impeachment or something like that, because you're dealing with politicians trying to convict a politician of a crime, and they kind of stick together, those assholes. Let's see, where are we now? All right, that's done. There was an incident already in Chicago where it's on video, ICE sprayed a Chicago pastor with pepper spray. Now, you see, one of the things you got to understand about National Guardsmen, these guys spend only spend 2 days a month being military, right? The rest of the time they do their jobs, sit around, drink beer, talk war stories, whatever, depending on what they are, whether in their civilian lives. And you take away their civilian life, car payments and things like that, they don't get delayed forever, okay? Some companies will extend you for a very short period of time, but if you're going to be in the If you're going to be on federal duty for a year or something like that, there's a whole different process you got to go through, and by the time you get through that, you're going to be bankrupt. So these guys are under a lot of pressure. You know, you got the wife screaming at home because she has to have somebody come in and take care of the baby, help with the family and everything like that. You know, more expense, a lot of problems, and so they're under a lot of pressure. And when you get people under pressure like that, you know, the pastor, all he has to do is say something that they don't like, and he's in trouble, whether he's a pastor or not. That's the way these idiots are, you know. They're not usually the highest educated people. Not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying that the tendency towards people that stay in the National Guard after the military and whatnot are a combination of it's a combination of they want to be told what to do and they don't want to be told what to do. So, you know, they want to be a hero in the neighborhood. You know, that's a frustrated hero worship or whatever you want to call it. The pressure on them can be extremely difficult, you know, because these guardsmen don't have to face what a lot of other guardsmen face because they're not going to be doing this in their own neighborhoods. So you got California guys in Chicago. These California, you see the shape of these guys? Run. That's all you got to do. These guys can't catch you unless they got vehicles. They'll have heart attacks, and of course, they'll blame you for it, and you'll get arrested for manslaughter or something like that. But you know, what can I tell you? Let's see. Now there's a financial story running around that artificial intelligence has kept the stock market alive for the last year or so. It's kept bad things from happening. And if that's the case, they say there's a bubble. Now, you know, when those stock market bubbles burst, everybody gets hurt. And that's what they're afraid of. And Trump's not prepared for that. Trump's not prepared for anything. You know, he operates off the seat of his pants. You know, or whatever's, you know, he's told to do by Miller and the rest of the authors of Project 2025. They're the ones that are running the government, not him. You got a list of people I think these guys really are, and we'll see what happens when I put that up. The similarities in their actions between that and 1933, 34, 35, around that area, you know? So, that's a big problem. In this shutdown, you know, get back to that, the IRS just laid off half its staff. And they have a October 15th deadline for tax filing. I don't know whether it's business or corporate or I don't think it can be individual. I didn't see anything about that, but and the 15th is in 6 days. And they're already having all kinds of problems and chaos because nobody's answering phones or anything like that now. And there's going to be some serious problems. And Trump's not going to cut you a break. You know that. He's going to order confiscation depending on where you are, if it's a business he wants or not, you know. This is all, the thing about this government that we have now is not for the people or by the people. It's for a few, by a few. Okay? It's designed to make a few people very wealthy, to protect some people from prosecution, and the rest of you, screw you. You know? And it's being done by a few people. It's not this is not a government for the people, by the people. Okay? It's just not. It's for the rich by the rich, or for the few by the few. You know, if you don't want to say the word rich. You got Mike Johnson, who's another person that I don't see a long, healthy future for if something happens to Trump. But you people out there that are sitting around waiting for the 2016 election, understand this. Okay, it's not the politician that's burying you right now. Okay, it's a person that wrote some shit in a Project 2025. I don't know all the authors. I should get the list of the authors, and you can just go out and see what these people are saying and doing. You've got Miller, Thule, a few others that are actually controlling the government. And if you don't think so, you're crazy. Okay, this is the way it's done. The point is that we never had this many corrupt officials. People that don't believe in democracy, that don't believe... We did have it in the beginning, but the saner minds ruled. These people weren't as crazy and corrupt, but the same thoughts existed in the beginning of the United States, that the masses couldn't elect a leader. They're not smart enough to elect a good leader. That's why all the things like the Electoral College and whatnot are there. But now the Electoral College is a weapon to be used against freedom. If you don't live in a certain state, your vote don't count. I'm sorry. That's the way it goes now. That's the story now, and that's you can study it if you want, but nobody wants to read anything. Nobody reads anything anymore. If you don't put it on your iPhone, and if they can't get it on YouTube or something like here or someplace else, they just don't pay attention to it anymore. And because of the bad stories, the fake stories and whatnot that are on places like YouTube and whatnot, people that tell the truth, and I'm not touting myself, I'm trying to tell the truth. I don't know whether but mine is all opinion, some fact, but a lot of opinion, my personal opinion. But they don't trust you. Nobody trusts me. I got 17 people that subscribe and trust me. All right, or they think I'm hilarious. One of them I'm not real sure about. A couple of them I'm not real sure are real people. But that's the way it's done. People do that crap. They put up false... I tell you the stories, you look at the headlines. You go down and say, where is this? That's the Dollar Tree? That's a great... even Brian Taylor Cohen does this, and he used to be on Occupy Democrats, and now he's out by himself because he found out he could make money. There's a story about Mike Johnson. Now you open that story up, and you're going to see a lot of other stuff before you get to that story, and how he does manage to get around to having other people on his show. One lawyer that keeps coming on the show. And I'm sure he's being paid for it, but this is the way they operate. Oh, wait a minute. This is important information. Dual citizen rule changes. I'll have to listen to half of that shit before I get what I want out of it. Anyhow, that's the deal with it, and that ruins it for other people. I go live and I don't get anybody, not even my regular followers are tune in to see me live. And I don't know whether that's the me doing it wrong or what have you, I'm going to go study that when I get done doing some of the stuff I'm doing right now, because it takes time and energy, and I can't. I have to focus on one thing at a time, really, when I'm working at it. Off of this thing, and I'm addicted to certain American television shows and stuff that I have to hear English, so that's how I do it. But he's Trump is telling a lot of federal employees they won't get back pay, and I don't know whether he's trying to get them to put pressure on the. But you got to understand, not every one of them's a Democrat, you know. So you want to put pressure on the little guys to help get your government. All he wants to do is be able to trim the government down. That's all. He doesn't care. And he's got a point, because you start using things like AI to do things, you don't need human beings. You know, and AI realized that in the movie Terminator. Okay, they understand that they don't need the human beings. Human beings are the biggest threat to the planet there is. We're destroying the planet. We're self-destructive. We're greedy. We deal in emotions. Artificial intelligence doesn't deal in emotions. All right. Theoretically, it doesn't get angry. It has no empathy. It's straight black and white logic. So, anyhow, that's me, folks. That's it for today. Today's Thursday. The Giants are going to get slaughtered tonight, playing Kansas City. So, you know, watch cartoons or something. That's not going to be. There's no way that should be a good game, but you never know. Depends how the betting market plays it. You know, there's a lot of action on the over/under. Where is that action? Then you can tell what the score, what kind of game it's going to be. You know. People will put it in as a high-scoring game because Kansas City should be able to score at will against the Giants, and the Giants, unfortunately, do have a fairly good, decent defense. So I'm not sure that's going to happen. All right, what else is going on, folks? That's it for the day. Hit that subscribe button. Make me happy. Make me smile. You want to see me smile? That's smiling. Lucy was actually here this morning. She took off. She's went to the beauty parlor yesterday. And she's always a little strange when she comes back, because we put her in she gets a ride on a motorcycle in a cage in the back of a motorcycle when she goes there. I can't walk her there anymore. You know, I'm just that's a little too far away, and it's down, and it's okay getting there. Coming back's a bitch. It's all uphill, and the hills around here, I have to be able to. I should I'll put a video up one of these days on here if I can do it, showing you the angles that I walk every day. You know, people say, well, you only walk a half an hour. My half an hour is worth about 45 minutes to somebody else my age walking on a flat, walking in my parking lot or something like that. You know. It's really, really rough out there, you know, especially if I don't walk on the sidewalks and I'm walking on the hills itself. Then, you're dealing with all the horse footprints and cow footprints and everything else over there. All right, that's it. Listen, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday. Have a good one.